Ken Heiles, Campus Dean of KCU Joplin, is back again with us to share some helpful tips on how to stay safe and healthy this upcoming winter season. Gosh, the cold and flu and all kinds of things are going on out there.
Right.
You've got some tips to keep us on the up and up.
Right, and my tips today are a little more away from the medical and the health side, but more the practical side. For example, when you're traveling, be prepared. You don't know what kind of weather you're going to get into. Make sure you have an ice scraper. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have a snack with you, battery cables. This part of the country, not near as bad, but I was born and raised in Erie, Pennsylvania. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I did my residency in Erie. We always had a shovel and salt net with us too, because it would be not uncommon to get knocked into a snowbank.
I'd never make it there.
Here with the ice, maybe a little salt or some people use sand. I actually use cat litter. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot lighter, and it works well. So you definitely want to have the travel safety there. Make sure you keep at least a half a tank of gas.
Now, why is that? I've heard that all my life, and I know that there are physics reasons for that, but I never was sure exactly what it was.
It not only is it physics reasons, but just if there's a major crash on the interstate and you're stuck in traffic for
that's brilliant. Yeah.
6 to 8 hours, and
You want
it's
some
30
heat.
degrees outside, you want to be able to have some heat.
So those nights when you're rushing home from work, you think, I'll just get gas in the morning.
Right.
Go ahead and get it, right?
Yeah.
Save yourself
the other thing
a big problem.
is if it's really cold, once your tank gets below about a quarter of a tank, it increases the risk of the fuel freezing in your tank and in your fuel line.
I've heard before,
Yes.
and that can ruin an automobile. Or it can actually make you...
Not as bad as the oil freezing, which I did have.
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we actually had to have both of our vehicles towed into a garage to warm up because the temperature got to 30 below, the wind chill was 70 below.
Oh my gosh.
And we didn't have a garage or anything. So yeah, they actually froze up, and
So
we had to have them
growing
towed
up
just to warm up.
where you did, you followed these rules,
Yeah.
and you brought them down to
Pretty
the
much,
four
yeah.
states as well, right?
And I keep a box, this time of year I keep a box in the back of my truck with pretty much everything that I just
I keep
stated.
everything, and I just gave it to my son to put in his truck. I have
Yeah.
blankets, I have tennis shoes, water,
Great
an
idea.
ice scraper, ice melt, the works. Then I'm safe, better safe than sorry.
That's right. And the other thing is make sure your cell phone's charged, because if something happens to your car and you can't get it started, you have no way to charge it. So make sure you have a fully charged cell phone whenever you leave the house.
Exactly. And let's talk a little bit about what happens if you do find yourself stranded. You don't want to get frostbite. You don't want to get hypothermia. What can a person do if they are in that situation and they are afraid that might happen?
Well, part of that comes back to, when you leave the house, if it's cold, dress in layers.
Yep.
Loose-fitting clothing, tight-fitting clothing tends to actually cool you more, but loose-fitting clothing, layers that you can either put on or take off, depending, is one big thing. The thing that people don't think about is the hat. You lose the majority of your body heat through your scalp.
Yep.
He has a good-looking hat.
You
He
know.
almost wore it for the break, but it didn't get it. It's like his Christmas time
Yeah.
hat. See, it serves for more than just looking good.
I got a little bald spot up here, and I can feel that heat emanating out of
I
there.
know the feeling well. But the hat and also gloves and mittens, because the fingers and hands, and as well as the toes, are going to be the first things to frostbite.
I put gloves in every coat before winter
Oh,
starts, because you get out the door, you forget those gloves,
Yep.
you're miserable.
It's a great idea.
I have a set of gloves in my truck. I keep it in the console all the time.
Yeah.
These
Now,
are-
they're-
Might as well.
They're cold when you first put them on, but after that they warm up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
some of these things seem simple, but how many of us have forgotten to do these things until it's too
Right.
late? So you've kind of given us some awareness, and you may help some people stay nice and warm
And
this
if,
winter.
and if you're out playing with the kids or grandkids and all of a sudden you start shivering and you can't stop, okay, that's a sign. It's time to get in the house and warm up. And if you have to, so do they.
Okay, very good point.
Rules
I
to
do
live
that
by.
a
Thank you
lot,
so
so I
much,
better get
Doctor.
into it.
Yeah.